Come on. There we go. My microphone decided did not want to load up. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome in. My tracking's not working very well. Everything's broken. Let me move this over. Hang on. That should be better for the tracking. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. You'll have to excuse. We are in the weird setup, so we're going to be doing some painting tonight. So my microphone won't be picking me up quite as much as it normally does. I have to look at things from a weird place. We'll go over there in a second and sort it out properly in a moment. But yes, welcome everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Mixu, oh whoa, welcome in. How's it going? Who gave the VTuber hammers? I know, right, Devo? We've been given too much power. Way too much power. But you have to excuse my tracking being a bit off because I've got a weird setup with loads of cameras in front of me for the hand cam, so it isn't picking my model too well. We will be switching over to my painting model in just a second. You forgot my last name, Mixu OO the Doggo Boy. Love it. Yeah, welcome everybody, hope you're all doing well. Today we are starting the VHammer project. We are going to switch pretty much straight over to the hand cam screen because of the model being a bit weird on this screen. So let's switch over and let's show you what I'm doing today. Here we go, we have our little hand cam set up and my little painting model. For those who haven't seen my painting mini, let me just reposition the microphone a little bit. But yeah, how is everybody doing? Are you all doing well today? Today we're going to be painting up some Chaos Knights, having a bit of fun with a new setup, and I am hoping that my camera's not going to overheat this week, because it did last week. But let me show you what we're painting up today. We are painting up this lovely war dog right here. I am so excited to paint these things. I've been wanting to collect Knights for years, and I had an excuse. So, I had an excuse to collect them, so we're now collecting these and building up a full force for the VHammer project. And for those who don't know about VHammer, we'll talk about that in just a moment. But yes, welcome everybody, hope you're doing well. And yes, Droid, I saw on the Warhammer chat that you'd built up a Titus miniature. It looked really cool. I love what you did with the base with it. Also, for those who don't know with these Titans, the good thing with these is that the arms do swivel, and we can remove the arms while we're painting it, which will make life a lot easier, which we will be doing in a moment. But I want to show you it in its full glory, minus the shoulder pads, which I'm going to paint separately because I don't want to be able to, I want to be able to get to this bit under here. But we're going to be painting up this in a moment. And this is part of the VHammer project. For those who don't know what VHammer is a VTuber project of building Warhammer, convincing everybody to build their models, paint their pile of shame, and actually get on the tabletop and play some games. So the idea of the VHammer project is people share the Warhammer projects they're working on. Every step of the way, we build them all up together, we work on everybody together and get everybody, building their models up, and then once everything's built, we'll then, basically, once everything is built, we will get some games on Tabletop Simulator and in person as well. So that's the next aim. So if you are into Warhammer, do make sure to go to the Underrealm Discord. So we're running it in the VHammer section, and you can grab the VHammer role to see all the rules in the rule section. But yeah, how is it going, everybody? I hope everyone is having a good day so far. We're on Thursday. We're approaching the end of the week. So all I'm going to say simply is cheers, everybody. I've got some rum and coke, and I'm good to go. Yeah, so, also a 220 stream streak, Tiny. Holy fucking shit. Also, I think, Geek, I saw that you couldn't stay long. I hope you're doing good. Anyway, for a not VTuber, yes, so the idea of it is that if you want to get into the VHammer project, all we ask is that you sharing up your projects. We do a feature on people to talk about the armies that they're building. If you want to be featured, you can do. If you're not into that, if you're not a VTuber or you just don't want to be featured, then that is also absolutely fine. But if you just go to the Underrealm Discord and assign yourself the VHammer role from the role section, you'll be able to get access to the VHammer project and see all of the rules and the ongoing stuff. And the key thing with this as well is that we are going to be building up a specific army list, and that's one of the big parts of this. So currently we're painting up a War Dog Carnivore, but as you can see we have our army list here. Let me bring this up. Let me just rescale it for you. This is what we're actually building as our full army, because we're collecting Chaos Knights. So we're doing a War Dog Carnivore, well, 2 War Dog Carnivores, 2 War Dog Stalkers, and 2 War Dog Brigands, a Knight Abominant, a Knight Ruinator, and a Knight Desecrator. That is going to be our full lineup once we finish building everything. And if you do want to donate towards the war effort, towards the army, any units that you donate towards, you'll get to pick a weapon profile for, and we'll track the damage that deals during the course of a game, so we can do a scoreboard for the most wounds inflicted, etc., etc. But the idea today is we're going to listen to a bit of music, we're going to have a chill, and we're going to paint up some minis. I also found some awesome music that I'm going to play while we're while we're gaming. While we're same gaming, while we're painting. Let me just grab a couple of tracks from it. We're gonna die. We found a really cool. Let me add this to play next, and then add to play queue. And that'll play in a second. There are barely any Warhammer groups in my area. So we will be doing Warhammer games via Tabletop Simulator, but we'll be getting everybody to scan their minis in, and we put a guide on so that people can actually scan their minis and use their actual minis when we play Tabletop Simulator. Hey John, how's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, so this is the guy that we're going to be painting today. I'm just going to clean my camera. It looks a little bit blurred. That's better. Yeah, so this is the guy we're going to be building up. But the good thing with this guy is we can do this. We can sew the arms and we can pop them off. And this is going to make painting this guy so much easier. Once it comes off, hang on, there we are. We can take those off and we can paint those up separately. And this is what we're building up. And we have also separated out our shoulder plates because these are going to be painted separately as well. Yeah. You've been used to it. Oh, that's such a good band. Okay, so let's make a start. So the first thing we're going to do with this thing is the thing that's going to take the longest amount of time to dry. We're going to get that done first. And what we're going to do the main model, do the 2 weapon arms, and then do the shoulder pads last because they don't need the drying time. But hey, Ty, welcome in. How's it going? But yeah, so we're building up this day. So let's start with the most important part. So anybody who's built any kind of mechanical faction knows the simple thing that we're going to do right now. It's going to be the classic Nuln Oil wash over absolutely everything. So let me go and grab a good wash brush. Make them by force. Oh, the Imperium of Man, at the Emperor's command, sends forth legions of Astartes. Okay. Is the Imperium of Man. How do you maintain a brush? So what I do, I make sure they're clean after every time I use them. And then I get on some of these. They're about, you can get loads of them on like Amazon for like pennies. And you just put them over the edge of the bristles like this. Just stops them getting warped and bent. But the best thing that you can do, and the best advice I can give for brushes, is always go for good quality brushes. They're a bit more expensive, but as soon as you go for cheap brushes, it's game over. Cheap brushes, they just fray and fall apart really quickly. Okay. I don't know if you're going to love this song. This one and Blood for the Blood God are my 2 favourites. I really want to see if I can get Blood for the Blood, do a cover of Blood for the Blood God, and try and get someone like Obi Cat in to sing on it, because that would be amazing. Let me move these things over out of the way. Also, we're going to be trying out something new today as well. I have picked up a new paint range I've been wanting to use for ages. I used to be a big fan of the Army Painter, and they brought out a new series of paints called the Fanatic Paints. So I picked up a pack of all the metals for these. So we've got all the different metal colours. So we've got like the Greedy Gold, we've got Bright Gold and Rough Iron, we've got Shining Steel there, Plate Mail. They are meant to be super good. But we also, so just so people know what we're doing with this as well, is we are going to be doing a wet blend. So the idea is all of the plates, so things like the shoulder plates, these plates on the legs, we're going to do a blue to purple effect on them so they look like oil. So I think that would look quite cool, right? As a Warhammer store in your state, it's a long drive. You see, I live 10 minutes away from a Warhammer store and 40 minutes away from Games Workshop headquarters. Like, I live right by Games Workshop. Like, the actual Games Workshop. Okay, let's get this brand new, unopened set of Nuln Oil on the go. Oh, new paint day. Oh, no. Just saying, we need to go back to the headquarters. We do indeed. It was so cool. They do an amazing, like, they do huge, like, exhibits. They're so cool. Okay, I think this will be a good brush for this. Okay, so I'm going to get some tissue. Because we aren't going to be using the wet palette quite yet, because... Blood for the blood guard. Let's go. Right, so what we're going to do here, we'll get these weapons washed first. So we're using what's commonly known as liquid talent, Nuln Oil. And all we're going to do is literally, we want to wash the whole of this with a good chunk of Nuln Oil. Yeah, this is basically liquid talent, this stuff. You just put the whole thing over and it goes into all the recesses and makes all of those recesses darker, which enables you to kind of get that metal effect when we dry brush it a bit. Do it yourself, as the god of hate. Well, fame done now. But all we're doing here is we're just going to coat this whole thing with Nuln Oil. Nice and easy. Legion's 8. Fight the girls of Viver, you cannot. Blood for the blood god. So this is the easiest bit of this whole mini. We're just coating the whole thing. Blood for the blood god. And I'll show you a trick that I use for dry brushing in a bit, once we get to the dry brushing stage. Because I think if you haven't been painting long and you don't know this trick, it'll make your life so much easier painting. Let's just put that on there. Okay. There we go. So we've sufficiently Nuln Oiled most of it. We just want to put some more on this riveted joint here. But like straight away, you can see what I mean about this. Gives it that like metal effect immediately, right? Hey, Captain Bravo, welcome in, and also Ritvi. Hey, how's it going? And now everyone was born to bleed. Okay. Mighty Legion's 8. Should start with Necrons or Thousand Suns. So, Necrons are one of the easier factions to paint if you're new to painting. I would definitely recommend them for a new starter because they are basically, if you spray them, you can get through them really quickly. Goes as good as it can. How goes the paint? It goes good. We are just making a start on our War Dogs. So all we've done is just taken the arms off temporarily while we Nuln Oil the hell out of the weaponry to get all that Nuln Oil effect on there, because we want to fill in all those recesses. So we get in there. Yeah, this is the easy bit, and then the next bit's the way we start getting tougher and we start dry brushing everything. You didn't know you're supposed to dilute the pay down. Yeah, anything that isn't a wash, you dilute the hell out of. And instead of getting spray, so you can get some paintbrushes to do things with a spray, but you can get the rattle can primer, and that's the best way of starting, because you can just basically pay I think it's like probably the equivalent of about $13-14, and you can basically spray up the whole of your faction. Hey, Rich, how's it going? I'm doing good. How are you? We're just in the process of doing the liquid talent stage of all Warhammer painting, where you basically put Nuln all over everything, and it makes everything look like it's detailed and more well painted than it is. And then we're going to start doing the thing that actually requires ability. But this is the easy bit, but also the bit that makes it look really cool, really fast. And I chose to do this first because I'm going to dry brush the hell out of it afterwards. Because this model is massive, and if I didn't do it this way, it would take me months and months and months to paint. Which isn't a bad thing, but I kind of want to get the whole army done. Zenithal, yeah! Okay. All we're doing here is we're doing a nice wash over everything. And we're doing these arms so that we can carry on painting these while the body goes and dries. Because what I'm going to do once I've got this is I'm going to blue tack the base section onto a paint pot so I can use it as like a, what's it called? Like a painting handle. There we go. So that is a good Nuln Oil wash over the whole thing. There we go. We'll put some on that bottom plate as well. Okay, we put those to dry. So on screen, what's the model you're doing today? Yes, I'm doing a War Dog Carnivore. These are one of the small Titans. So considering how big this is the small one. So it is fucking massive. The actual Titan, I'm looking forward to getting some actual Titans. That's something that I'm going to do in the future. Obviously, I'm going to build the list that's down the left-hand side. So I've got a Knight, Abominant, Ruinate, and Desecrator that I need to build up. I've got to build and paint 8 of these guys though, and they're massive. Let me just do a couple of bits and bobs. And this is a 1-to-1 scale, but that's small. Yeah, that's the small one. So just to put it to scale, this goes up just below the waist of the big one. Because this army, rather than painting a horde of small minis, you have like 9 minis in your whole army. That's the entire thing. Let's see how that's looking. How's the pooling looking? Let's just go back through just a damp brush, and we just want to tidy up some of the pooling where the normal pools where we don't want it. It's actually done pretty good. It's gone exactly where we want it, which is nice. Perfect. Yeah, the Titans are massive because, like, if you want to play at like 1,000 points, which is the average for Warhammer, like 1 to 2,000 points, at 1,000 points, you're fielding 3 people. It's insane. Okay, right. So this is the bit where I was going to try and work out the best way of doing this. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to blue tack the War Dog to the base so that I can hold the base. Let me grab some blue tack. I want to make my own unique Imperial Knight. Hell yeah, I love Imperial Knights. They're so cool. Okay, let's just put this on the base there. Because we're not going to see this bit underneath it, so I think this will work well as a way of doing this in such a way that we are able to get to it easier. So let's do that like that. And now, if I can lift the base up, there we go. Now we can hold it by the base, and that's going to be a lot easier. I dread the day we get to do a Titan model. I struggle trying to do a Redemptor Dreadnought model. Well, I'm going to show you some tips on how to do these models. Like you can see here, I've took the arms off and stuff like that to make this easier. I've also taken some of the armor plating off, so like the shoulder plates are all separate as well. So I've done that in such a way that we can basically paint into the bits that you can't normally get to in an easy way. Because otherwise, this is going to be an absolute nightmare. And I've got a lot of these to paint. So let's grab that big brush again. And now we're going to start doing that all over Nuln Oil wash. So actually, let's take this out. Start from this little bit here. Okay, actually, I'm going to leave the arms. It's a bit of a bitch to hold. The good thing with these guys, you can just take the weapons off and just paint them separately. It's really cool. I'm actually going to leave that attached because it's a bit difficult to hold. Okay. So enjoy Nippon Saiyo. Okay, Nuln Oil over everything. Nuln Oil the Titan. Okay, let's get the body done, and then we'll go back to the arms for a bit, so that we can let that dry, so we can grip the top of the model while we paint the bottom. We'll do it down to the waist. I'm gonna need so much Nuln Oil for this army. Holy shit! Also, I need to move my light a bit. I can't actually see the fuck what I'm doing. Let's do that there. It's actually in frame. Ah, fuck, it's in frame. Yep. No, I dread the day I'll go through time. Yeah, Titan models do take a long while to paint. But I'm going to show you some cool tricks today on how to make it fast, or faster at least. Because we probably won't get this done in one sitting. It's probably going to take us 2 or 3 streams. But if you do it the way that I'm doing it, it's actually a relatively comfortable and easy-ish way to do it. Because what we're doing here is we're basically like darkening all the recesses using Nuln Oil. Because then what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to, once we've done all the Nuln Oil, we're going to go through and basically like pick out all the colours, but we're going to dry brush the whole thing first. And by doing it in that way, you're basically in the situation where you can essentially like half paint the model, and it does enough for you to basically see where everything goes, and you just from there you're just touching things up. But the good thing with this is we're just basically just lumping this on, because it doesn't matter how much you really put on of this, it's all going to darken things up. And we're going to my thoughts, I want to make them a Mountain Dew Baja Blast color, unique dress. Yeah, hell yeah. See, I always go for unique themes. This is the first time I'm not really doing anything crazy, because they're so big, I didn't want to do anything ridiculous. But we will be doing some cool stuff with wet blending on this. I love Nuln Oil so much. It is the greatest paint they've created on this range. It's so good. Hey, Phantom, how's it going? Okay, inside of this one. Yeah, the funny thing of this is I'm kind of using a mixture of 2 methods. I'm doing the lazy way of doing the armor, but I'm doing like a really detailed way of doing the panels. Which is weird. Like, I don't really want to get too much of this on the panels if I can avoid it, because I'm going to do all this big back carapace with this effect that I'm going to be doing. So we'll do that like that. But as you can see, we're not really worried about too much about where this is all going, because we're going to highlight all this off later. There we go, it's catching all that up. As you can see, it's starting to pull all that detail into the model. And that's exactly what this is for. This is basically detailing paint. Not like a bright gold. Paint gold noise, yeah! This is reminds me to get back into continuing the props for a friend of mine who's planning to go to a convention soon. He's going to be a member of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Aha, hell yeah! That's going to be an awesome project to print as well. See, if you can't tell by the bird face on this, I'm going to be doing these Tzeentchian themed. So Tzeentch is the one faction I've never owned any models for. So I decided, why not make this a Tzeentchian Titan? And that way, technically, I've collected all 4 Chaos factions. Because I have Khorne Demons and Nurgle Demons. And then I have Slaanesh. I have a single Slaanesh Chariot. Yeah. The music choice, hell yeah. I do my best with the music choice. I try and make it a vibe as much as I can. The night. Ow. But yeah, as you can see, this is the simple bit where we're just basically just throwing the wash on to make everything detailed, and then we're going to go into doing some really cool highlighting techniques that I absolutely love. But this bit here is the nice, quick, and easy bit. Everything from here is harder work. 10,000 fists in the air. Okay, that's looking good. You can see all that detail now is starting to come through, which is good. And one little detail, since I have some knowledge in circuitry, I'm going to hook them up so they move like they are sent in. Nice! Uh, can you have Dreadnought as part of a different army? Depends which army you're doing. So, if you're doing a... so basically, the way that the factions work is factions have allies. So like all the Imperium factions can technically ally, so that you can have, I think it's up to 40% of your army come from another faction, as long as they are from the same like grand faction. So like Imperium, Chaos, um, obviously not Xenos, because they are all unique. If you're doing Eldar, you can technically ally the Dark Eldar if you use the Ynnari subfaction as well. Thousand fists in the air. Okay, so we're about halfway down. Now, if I can do this using the base, I can just get all this done in one go, and then this is going to be great for dry brushing later. Let's try and get at least the waist done. 10,000 fists in the air. Okay, let's okay. That was a bit much there. Okay. Now, the trick before we move on to the next stage of this is going to be to wait for this to fully dry. So we may be chatting just for a little while we wait for these bits to finish off drying. I probably should have done the null oil wash off stream, but it's the start of the painting process. You need to see this, right? Help me, I don't know where to commit to Custodes or Slaanesh. Oh, that's hard, Tiny. See, as someone who is not an Imperium player, I will always say Slaanesh. So I'm a bit biased because I don't like the Imperium as a faction, which is wild. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'm not a big fan of the Imperium as a faction. I'm always a Chaos boy. I'm Chaos or Xenos every single time. Okay, we get in there, we get in there. We're almost down to the bottom of 1 foot. Out if you're a freak like me. And thank you for the lurk as well. I should have one video come up on my YouTube recommendations that was titled "What Happens When the Emperor Dies." Oh, is that the Dark Prince arc thing where he becomes the Dark King, or is that a different story arc? Because there's a whole thing with the Dark King arc, but I don't know if that's like a canon thing on it, or whether it was like, oh well, correction. I know it was a canon thing because it was in one of the books, but I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about. Oh man, I'm gonna need so much null oil. I've used like a quarter of a pot. I'm never really a fan of the Imperium, more of Blood Angel. Yeah, well, Blood Angels are a part of the Imperium though. Blood Angels are part of the Imperium. They're an Adeptus Custodes, oh, sorry, Adeptus Astartes contingent. Hey, Kitsune, how's it going? Okay. I need to push you down a bit because you are not getting held on by that thing. Okay, so. Now the hard bit is this last leg, because this last leg, I can't touch the other leg because I'll get the stuff on me. If you like tanks with DPS, not so yeah, that's the thing. Like, Tiny's got some Custodes, but she's also got some Slaanesh. She's played a bit of both. But she does like to be stompy, so I'm thinking that she'd probably enjoy Custodes more. There's also a lot less units to keep track of. Well, most of the time, anyway. Unless you do like a Sisters of Silence heavy faction. Man, I probably should do this at the base. It would have actually been easier. I didn't glue, so I thought it'd be difficult to get to the underside of. Wait a second. What am I doing? What am I doing? The top's dry. We just said two scenarios. The first, the body dies, but the psychic side survives. At least to his ascension. The other side dies, at least to the destruction of Terra. Yeah. The thing with the Emperor is that his presence in the warp is so huge that when the Emperor dies, there's a good chance that he just becomes a Chaos God. Like, that's the thing. He just becomes a Chaos God. At which point he might be likable. As you can tell, I'm not an Imperium fan. As someone who plays Chaos, I actually was debating at one point, and I think it's something I might still revisit at some point. I was debating doing a Dark Custodes army and doing like Chaos Custodes, like after the Emperor becomes the Dark Prince. I thought it'd be really cool. Go well having an owie day. Oh no, you're still having trouble with pain. Sorry to hear that. Oh, come on, I'm stuck. No, no. Okay, we get in there. We get in there. So we've got almost the whole body washed. Is there anything else that we've missed? Yeah, it just occurred to me I can hold these shoulder plates because you're not going to see them, so they're going to be underneath the main body. Is there anything that I've missed? Was there anything that's too thick like that there? Ah, yes, I've missed this leg. Okay. I missed the inside of there. Come on, get null oil, bitch. Okay. I think we're good. I think we have a good amount of that all over. Ah, a bit there. Haha. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we are sufficiently null-oiled. So let's put that to the side. Oh, you're still feeling bad again. That's really bad to hear. So I'm sorry you're suffering so much. It always sucks when you're in pain. Space Wolf through and through. Although I have other armies, I feel Xenos Chaos regular. But yeah, I'm like, so I'm not a Imperium fan. I am fully Xenos committed normally. This is like outside of my Night Lords, the only Chaos faction I'm building. Um, because I genuinely love Chaos as a faction, but I don't love painting Chaos stuff. Um, so let me grab something that I'm going to show you how I do a trick with my dry brushing. Let me go and grab something. So, if you ever want to know how to get really smooth dry brushing with minimal effort, this is what you use: makeup brushes. Like they make life so much easier. Let me just get some of that off there because that's a bit thick. Okay. Yeah, dry brushing with like actual like flat dry brushes. I can understand why people do it, but this is way better. So we're gonna start with some plate mail metal. I'm gonna need quite a bit of this, so let's the entirety of that's gonna get absorbed into one dry brush. But so we'll start off by doing this, but this is dry across the board now, which is great. So what we're going to do, we start with plate mail metal. We're going to build some up on our brush and kind of build it into the bristles. And then we're going to wipe a load off here, getting a load into our bristles. Like that. And then we're going to do quite a heavy dry brush to bring some of those colours back up. A bit more out of that brush, I think. Do this like this. See, straight away you're getting more of that effect on, look. Just makes the dry brushing so much better. I didn't tie. I think Tristan's doing it right now, right? There we go. We're starting to get that metal look to it, look. There you go, straight away, nice and easy. And this is how we're going to speed paint our Titan. You finished not too long ago. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see the film, so I was eating food before we started stream, so I just didn't get a chance to drop by, unfortunately. The question is, did I win? That's the important question, I think. And yes, it's Motorhead, yes. Okay, so there we go. So you can see this is starting to look nice and metallic. Are you all dry as well? Yes, you are all dry, so... Yeah, it's Motorhead, so it's Lemmy, yeah. Snake Eyes watching you. The Ace of Spades. Lots of fools, but gambling's for fools. That's the way I like it, baby. I don't wanna live forever. Okay, there we go. There we go. We're looking nice and metallic now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because the body's going to take a little while to dry, is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the shoulder pads. Because I'm going to start by taking the shoulder pads and turning the shoulder pads to a nice gold colour. So let's get 2 gold. So greedy gold is our dark gold. We'll do this one first. Take one look and die. Yeah, I love a bit of Motorhead. The ornamental is the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades, alright. Okay, let's use that one. So, let's start off with one of these, eh? Okay, I'm going to water that down a little bit. So we pull that into the blob of stuff we put down. We want to get to a nice consistency. Let's start building this up. Let's do King of Kings, yeah! I love a bit of Motorhead. Okay, let's do this section here. So we're doing 2 thin coats. We need to put a little tiny bit more than that. A little bit more than that on my brush. Can't take much more. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Now 1. 2, nothing wrong with me. 3, nothing wrong with me. 1, something's got to give. Got to give. 3, something's got to... God, I've got so much on me already. Look at my hands. Holy shit. I am Paint Man. Okay. And we're actually going to do a bit of an unusual... You get this here. Again. This must admit, I need to get a bit of a thinner brush here. I think I'm being ambitious with my brush size. Let me just get this extra section here. Something wrong with me. Okay, let's switch to a smaller brush. I'm being too ambitious here. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Skin and skin and blood and bone. You're all by yourself, but you're not alone. Weight is down, now you're here. driven by hate, consumed by fear. May I ask those grabby paintbrushes? So these ones here are from the Nick Pro, and this is the Citadel Sable brushes. And these ones here, these were some of the old like Rock Ninja ones, but I've kind of got rid of them, so they're crap. So they're now paint handles. Yeah, how's it going, Nico? I am covering myself in paint. I'm going to need to go and wash my hands in a moment. Skin is blood and bone. Because what we're going to do, we're going to do 2 thin coats of this so we can get a nice solid gold colour. And then once we've got the gold colour on here, what the aim is going to be is to do the oil effect on the panel. Possible ear infection. Oh no, sorry to hear that. Hey, Panzer, how's it going? Oh, we oh, we oh. Oh, we oh, we oh. It's going. Well, that's something, eh? Like Jekyll and running on caffeine and spite. At least it keeps you going, right? Okay, get that there. And then we want to do this bit here. You have to excuse me to the side of my microphone. I'm having to lean in close so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. It's been a long day, yeah, I get that. I've had a lot of management clients on today, so I have had a very busy day. Oh, we oh, we oh. Oh, we oh, we oh. Jekyll and Hyde. I believe this is yeah, I believe this is Five Finger Death Punch, right? Yeah, if you haven't joined into one of these painting streams before, my music playlist is very much like 2000s metal. I think it's Five Finger Death Punch. Hang on a second. Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde, Five Finger Death Punch. Oh, we oh, we oh. Oh, we oh, we oh. You have to excuse me if I'm a bit like messy with this bit as well. This is the first time I've ever tried painting in sub-assemblies. Like I've never painted in sub-assemblies before, but I kind of needed to for this, so this is interesting. Okay, we'll wait for that to dry, and then we'll come back to another coat on here. So we want to get this nice and bright, because if we can get this nice and bright, we can then muddy it up properly. It's a very shiny gold color. Then hide. Oh, oh, oh. And we can use these shoulder plates to test that color scheme as well before we start getting into the full model, which is good. Kneel like Jekyll and Hyde. My music tastes so fucking wild. Listen to everything from Dolly Parton all the way to Avenged Sevenfold. Me too. Also, Fend, hey, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, me too, Panzer. My playlist has got everything from Five Finger Death Punch to country music. And yeah, Warhammer Thursdays. This is my painting night. where we're going to be sitting down and working on our VHammer project. And first of all, what VHammer is. VHammer is the project that I'm working on with basically the idea is to get like a massive group of YouTubers together to paint minis and do full armies so that we can do actual tabletop games either in person or on Tabletop Simulator with scanned minis. So this is my new Thursday night fixture while I work on my army list. That's down in the bottom left-hand corner. And if you are interested in joining the war effort, you can either join VHammer to join the group and paint up an army with us, or you can donate to my army and get onto the leaderboards. So the way that will work is that if you do donate to an army on Throne, then what will happen is it will put you on a leaderboard for the amount of kills your model gets during competitive play. Right, I'm going to move my mic slightly. Actually, I'm going to try something. Let me know how this sounds, because I've just realised that my microphone keeps getting in my way. So let me just try something very quickly. Let me know if this sounds good, because if this sounds just as good, I might just do this when I do this. Let's try just going into here. And actually, let's go into voice mod. Where are we? Go on, take me. How far do they go? Do they go? Let's just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, how does this sound? Does this still sound good? Because if so, I can use this I can use this microphone from my headset, and I don't have to worry then about having my microphone in front of my face. So how does this sound? I know it's not going to be quite as good quality, but it should be decent, I would have thought. Let me just carry on with this bit. Sounds fine, Yeah, if it sounds okay to everybody, then what I'll do is I'll just switch to this when I'm just painting, and it just gets something out of my way and gives me a bit more space. It also means that I can move my head around without you guys losing my voice. But I know that the quality of this microphone isn't fantastic. I assume with voice mod it'll probably not be that much of a difference. Does everybody else think it sounds okay as well? Because if so, I'm going to move the other microphone out of my way and I have more space. Every time I thought to release, something's ripped and taken from me, from me. I think for the next one, I'm going to put the armor plates on the model though, because this is actually really awkward with my shakes, because I'm shaking on 2 fronts rather than 1. But yeah, how does the microphone sound? Does that sound okay to everybody? There's no audio problems at all? Are we good? If so, I'll move the other microphone out of the way and give myself a bit more space. My face. I consider myself a nice chair and no music from literally everyone else. Hell yeah. I have so much music because obviously I used to be in the music industry, so I am surrounded by music. I love my music. A funny story is I used to actually struggle to be functional without music playing, but Tiny struggles with noise around them, so we had to make a compromise, and I slowly learned how to basically function without music playing 24/7. But when I'm painting, in particular, I need music running. This place, sometimes it's my life I can't taste. Sometimes I sit and face my face. Got the music on deep. Oh no! Hang on a sec. I can fix that. Something takes a part of me. There we go. It should be fixed. Okay, got it. Magna boom, magna gita, boom, 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 magna boom, We get in there. So, any thoughts on the microphone? Are we going to switch back over, or are we okay with this one? Because this is a much more convenient one for when I'm painting, but if it sounds crap for you guys, I would rather the audio quality, and I will just paint in an awkward position. Just let me know how it's sounding. When I were meant to be. Okay, that's that one. And then, good here? Okay, let's move this microphone out of the way. Because this is right in front of my face. Like, literally in front of my face. It was actually really difficult to deal with. Let me just very quickly move that out of the way. Well, I'll put that there for the time being. Actually, can I do it this way? Aha, I can actually. Aha. There we go. So now we're using my headset mic, which means I have all this space to move. That was the microphone was in before. Cool. So let's do our second coat on this one. That means I can actually put that over here as well. It gives me more room. Ha ha ha. I'm so covered in paint. I have no idea how I got myself this covered. But let's get our second coat on here to get our nice, vibrant gold colour. Okay. That's better. Gold's a bit like yellow in that it's a really hard colour to get looking right. Don't know why I didn't hear scuff as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. Should I have PB&J or a burger and wrap? Ooh, see, I'm always partial to a good burger. I am very partial to a damn good burger. I made chicken burgers just before we started stream. Actually, me and Tiny had one just before we started. Oh, let's go. This is starting to look really, really sharp. Look at that. Focus, focus camera. Focus camera, focus camera, focus camera. Come on, camera, focus. There we are. Come on, focus. There we are. It's starting to look nice and sharp, look. Okay. That's looking really good. We have a burger with chips and beans. I thought tonight as well put the food channel. Ooh, lovely. Okay. Okay, that side's look really, really sharp. Okay, I'm working my way around. Hopefully the main body will be dry now. We can jump onto that to start layering some bits on. Okay. There we go. That's got a nice gold effect all the way around. The good thing is you'll notice I'm not worrying too much about the corners because with what we're going to do on this shoulder panel, those corners are going to look awesome. We don't have to worry about them being too neat. Do I need to do underneath it? I think I'll do a little bit of underneath just for where it kind of shows. Let me just... Because it's just a little bit of this is going to show. We'll just put some under here just to give it the right colour. Problem with this is there's way too many brush strokes. You can see the brush marks way too much. Problem with metallics is they're really hard to get to look right. That's fine. Hey, we're getting there. Move this out the way. Still gotta get the outside of that finished off, but they're getting there. So we're gonna do another layer on this one. Let's get a little bit more greedy gold on the go. So, that's the problem. Hang on. There we are. This particular paint has spilt inside the cap. I keep on going, haha, the paint looks like mustard. I wouldn't recommend eating it. There we go. That's got it. I don't know why I'm so worried about this side, because this side's going to be facing the model, so you're not going to see it, but I am being perfect. Mm, it's mustard with glitter in it. That's how they make gold paint, right? Mustard with glitter. Darky, darky morning. I know a lot of people say baby metal isn't true metal, but if you don't think baby metal's metal, then there's something wrong with you. They're so good. This is so difficult not to get brush strokes in. Holy shit. That's better. Just gonna feather it along the edge, I think. Hmm. So the Fnatic Paint Range's promise of covers in one coat, we have determined that this was a lie. This is going to need 3, I think. Okay. Okay. This third coat's got it, though. Yeah, the third coat's got it. We're just going through removing all of those brushstroke marks where we want it just to cover that a little bit better. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this to dry fully and then come back to this with um, the greedy gold again just before I do the next layer. Yeah. We'll come back to that in a little bit. We're getting there. Yeah, the third layer is getting it. Cool. So just knowing in the future the gold is going to take 2 to 3 layers minimum. Your betrayal. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. So that's the shoulder pauldrons around the corners. So now let's dry brush the fuck out of our main model. Okay, so we're going to go back to our plate mail metal. Okay, let's start doing the big job. Where is my Saiyan suit? Where's my brush? There it is. Do, 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 do. Let's get some more tissue and start doing our dry brushing. Put those over there. Your betrayal. Do, 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 do. We should double check something, see how we're doing. One sec. Okay. No worries, Tiny. Okay, get these bristles in the brush. Like this. And now we start. Start dry brushing the living daylights out of it. Okay. What this is doing now is it's bringing out all the raised edges. All we're doing is trying to get where the light's hitting it. There we go. Let's add a bit more highlight to everything. And then we're going to do the same again with a slightly brighter silver afterwards, and we're going to hit the edges of, like, the very, very edges of the model. Okay, there we go. There we go. I know it doesn't look like much has changed yet, but when it all comes together, it's going to look insane. So we need to get this brush dry. Completely dry. And now we're going to get a lighter metal. This is now shining silver. Work it into the bristles. And we'll start with the arms. So again, we want to be a bit lighter even with this one. So literally just getting the absolute sharpest edges, like this. So just getting the absolute edges that we can get, like that. Boom. In a bit, we're going to go through and start adding in more colours. Right now, everything is looking just very, very metallic. We're going to go through and fix that in a bit. I mean, obviously a lot of it's going to be this colour, but we're going to start breaking that colour up in a second. Okay. Okay. Same on this again. Again, we're just catching the very, very edges. Just giving that more highlighting. Just very, very roughly over the whole thing. There we go. That's looking nice and like actual metal. So now we can start looking at, start getting some detailing done. So let's start looking at some other things that we can pick up. And one of the things I want to start looking at doing is picking up some of the like the armor plates that are like these little rivet things, and start picking these up and doing them with like a bronzy color. And I've got a couple of bronzes to try. I want to have a quick look at this one to see what it looks like on the palette, because this is another one from the Iron Painter series that I haven't seen before, and this is rough iron. Oh, it's a nice bronze. Okay, yeah, we're gonna use that. So I'm gonna grab that sigil brush, a little bit of water. Okay, and we'll start with the arms here, and we'll start picking out some of those little little areas like this here. So we'll start breaking these details up. There we go. So these are the kind of details that are going to make this now pop out against the rest of it. I keep going to adjust my position talking to my microphone, but I'm using my headset, so it's weird. Cool, Gunpla, what model? So it's not quite a Gunpla. This is a Chaos Knight from the Warhammer franchise. It's a Chaos Knight for, technically a Chaos Knight War Dog. Um, but it's a really cool chaos like chaos warrior. Yeah, how's it going? How are you doing, Stratos? Are you doing well? Let's go there. Got it. Not too bad. Have I been? I've been doing good. I've been doing. I am nice and chill tonight. Nice and relaxed. Just doing a bit of painting. Getting my army started because we are doing a big Warhammer painting project. So I thought, why not get started on stream with this Chaos Knight? I'm just currently going through and getting all of these plates caught with a nice bronze colour. Start breaking up some of the colour palette on it. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm nice and chill. This is my relaxed night, so I'm not too worried about anything. I'm just sitting back and having a bit of a vibe, chatting, listening to some music, painting some models, just relaxing as much as we can. So yeah, we're just chilling and vibing, as you do. Okay. There we go. If you want to recall paint technique, colour the whole figure black, then dry brush grey. Yeah, doing the slap chop technique. Yeah, yeah, I did that with some of my previous models, but for these it doesn't really work because we're doing a like the whole thing's metal. So I sprayed it metal and then did like a dry brush over all the metal. But yeah, I used to do that with the contrast paints. Do black undercoat and then you do a top down zenithal paint and then dry brush the living hell out of everything. So it doesn't really work for these particular models I'm working on now because they need to have all the metallics done. But yeah, I do that with a lot of my stuff. So up until this project, I've been doing primarily contrast paints for a while just to make life easier. Okay, there's a couple of little rivets to break all that up. We're going to do some staining on these, which we can do. We'll do all the pipes in a different colour as well. Let's do some bronze on these as well. Because what we are going to do with this one is when we go to finish it all up, we're going to very much like dirt it all up. Yeah, it's been a while since I've used the old painting techniques because I used slap chop style for a while, mainly due to the speed of it. But I'm taking my time with this one and really kind of getting in there and creating this something like pretty unique. I need to find better metallic color methods that aren't those perma and paint pens. Um, Try out these ones, the Warpaint Fanatics. They're really good. They're a brand new formulation from Army Painter, and they are really cool metallics. The camera doesn't pick up just quite how shiny they are, but they're very shiny. How do you find the paint pens? 'Cause I haven't really tried the paint pens themselves. I've heard good things about them. Okay, that's that. Stand alone inside I stand alone. Okay, that's all the rivets painted. So the next thing on this one is going to be the armor plating on the back of the wrist, and then we're going to start doing some of the pipes and pistons and stuff. Paint pens are great for the gunpla. I've got a good brand, but I forgot the name. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because it's something that I've not really tried. I know that Army Painter does do a brand of them. I just haven't tried them myself. But I've had people recommending paint pens to me for a while. There, that. Stand alone inside I stand alone. There we go. Whoa. Oh, it hasn't triggered the alert for some reason. That's weird. It has popped up on my side to let me know that you did get killed, but it hasn't told me how. Stand alone inside I. Despair. Okay, I'll check those out. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay. The people who build Gunpla, they're apparently really good. Ah, fair enough. See, Gunpla's something I've never really tried. I know a lot of people who are really into it, but I just never got around to building it myself. You did it. Like da 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 da. Have a weapon, you can't have mine. Oh, like a prison. Not afraid. You're looking at an absolute zero. I'm not the devil, but I won't be your hero. There we go. So this is just breaking up that colour a little bit. We're going to be doing a load more colour on this though. So you have to find one you want to build, and then the quality is always between great and sturdy to man. Like, yeah. So to be fair, some of the Warhammer models like that, where the way they're built is just so strange, it doesn't make any sense. Actually, that was like the case with these. Like some of the way this was built, this put together was insane. Let me show you. Let me show you what it looks like in a second. I'll put the arms back on so you can see it. Let me just get these layers down and I'll show you. But yeah, we're building up Chaos. But basically, we're building up Chaos Knights, which are probably the closest you get to Gunpla in the Warhammer franchise, apart from maybe Tau. But it's basically like giant stompy robots, which is yeah, very very Gunpla coded. I keep leaning in and catching the my head keeps catching the camera mount. Yeah, let me get this layer in. I can show you. That I can't stand is when the minutes fight the second hand. Do 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 do. When it's just as bad. Okay. Damn about the world of the fucking world. Okay. Cool. Right, let me just do this little last bit. Okay, let me pop it all together so you can see it, what it looks like with the arms on. Yeah, so this is what our Titan looks like when it's all together. We're still very early stage on the painting, obviously. We're just starting to get the detailing on the arms. But they're a pretty damn badass model. They have got these shoulder plates that will be going on as well. Because we're going to be going doing all the gold detailing on it. But they are such a cool model. Oh, one sec. Let's these back off. Yeah, they're an awesome model. Yeah, I have a gooseneck camera stand. It's just because of where I have to position it to get a good position for the camera. It's a little bit yeah, not the best position. Right, let's get a bit more of the gold bit done. Let's do another layer of gold, and hopefully this time we can hide those brush strokes. Yeah, that's got it. Okay. I think I might change the gold that I use for Retributor armor on the next one, because the Retributor armor just covers that a little bit better. It's better. It's just the big flat areas of gold. The rest is fine. But yeah, I'll show you what we're doing with the plates on the shoulders in a moment, because once this gold dries, I'm gonna be able to show you what I'm actually working on with it. Because I haven't got to any of the main paint scheme yet, which is quite worrying. I was hoping to have got to at least some of the main paint scheme by now. But this is working now, so. Hail to the king. Okay. There we go. So, now the armor is mostly green for Nurgle blue, and blue for Night Lord. Uh, so for Nurgle, generally, yes, you want to go greens. Night Lords, you want to use dark blues, and then build them up to a medium blue, and then manually paint lightning bolts onto your armor. And I've just realized, I don't think my model is using the correct microphone. Let me just find out. Hang on. Microphone settings. No, you're still using the other microphone. Haha. Where's voice mod? That should move north now. Yeah, that should be better. That's better. It's also changed microphone halfway through. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is start to look at getting some of the colors on these models. So we're going to do the first bit of the main effect that I want to do on these models, I think. Where do I want to start with this? I think I'll start with the panel on here, because it's quite a small panel. So we're going to do something cool using two really cool paints. So these are two contrast paints. For those who don't know what contrast are, they're really, really thinned down paints that have a medium in them that stops them from drying quite as fast. And that lets them flow to where they need to flow. I was wondering if your notes are going to be more green for Nurgle. So after talking to a few people and decided what I'm going to do, these are going to be Tzeentchian Knights. So we're doing blues and purples. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing with them. So we're going to use these two colours. And we're also going to use some contrast medium. And how I'm doing the panels, so I'm going to do the first panel on here to show you, because I need to test to see how these panels are going to look. And then we'll do the gold around the outside of it. So we're going to do this section here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the contrast medium, and we're going to paint a small line of contrast medium about halfway down the panels. Like this here. Just a very, very thin line of contrast medium. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the blue, and we're going to put the blue at the top of the panel like this. Like that. And then we're going to wash our brush off. And to the purple, while it's still wet, put some purple at the bottom of the plates. Like this. Dry our brush again. And then we're going to drag the purple into the medium on both sides. Same here. And then we blend them together in the middle. And how this is going to look when it's done, if it does what I want it to do, which it's going to do, just keep drying our brush as we're doing it. Then we dab down the center. Okay. And then what this is going to look like when we get the panel finalized in just a moment is like that. So it goes from metallic blue down to metallic purple. I'm going to put a bit more purple on, so the purple didn't go on quite as well as it could have done. Put a bit more purple in. And again, we just thin that out. And there we go. We have that metallic blue going down to purple. Let me switch it off. Maybe you can see it better without that light on there. You can see kind of how the purple fades into the yellow, into the blue, and then we're going to do gold around the edges. But I thought that'd be a very, very Zinchian colour. That was the idea. It is a bit of a bitch to paint, but we haven't got to do many panels. Okay, so let's do another panel. Is there any more on this one? There's no more on this section, which is fine. But I think there's one on the saw. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is the midsection here. So how do we want to do this one? We're going to do around here. And then go to blue in the center. And then go up to here. Okay. Just trying to work out plan and how to do this on here. Work to there. Work to there. That. And then we want to thin it here. Okay, thin it as it goes out to here. That's how we want it to look. Like that. And then I'm going to take blue from the other side. And we want to fade that together there. Like that. Okay, and then we just blend it like that. There we go. So it's adding that flare of colour to it. It's actually like, although it's a fairly difficult thing to get onto the model, once it's on there, it actually looks really cool. It kind of looks like you're fading two colours into each other with this kind of Zinchian feel. Like it's changing colour halfway because the panels have been overtaken by magic, and that was the intention. So let's get the purple on. Okay, I'm going to the blue. Okay, and then we just get the excess off here. Like that. There we are. And that's our fading panels again. It's kind of difficult to show it on stream. It's going to look really good when it's all done. It's kind of got that oil slick effect to it. Okay, how's the panel looking now? It's dry. Yeah, it's getting there. Okay. So let's do one of these shoulder plates then. Now, do I want to do dark to light or light to dark? Dark to light, I think. Now your nightmare comes to life. Ooh. The concentration doing this is insane. There we go. So that's looking absolutely killer. Music track, I'm going for that. Feel. You should have known the price of evil. So I've just realised I'm painting half this off screen. Whoops. There we go. There we go. Very, very Zinchian. So yeah, that is an example of our shoulder plates. It's hard to show this because it's so metallic. Let me see if we can move up to here. We're doing that purple fading into blue with the gold border. It looks so sharp. It's a really cool little effect. It's honestly, it's coming out so, it looks so sharp. I'm really looking forward to getting it done in such a way that we can actually do something unique with them, because I really like the idea of doing this like Zinchian swirl of magic. But every time I see people do it, they always go for like a really vivid purple, which makes things look more Slanesh. Whereas I think doing the blue as the focal color and then going to the darker purple, it gives you that really nice, like, Zinchian feel. And then what I'm going to do once this is all done is basically do a Rakarth flesh wash over the gold to make the gold have more of an orange gold to it. And that will then make the Zinchian style really pop, because you'll then have the darker blue with the more orangey gold. And that's the idea. So let me do the other shoulder plate. This is the hardest bit of it, right? Getting these plates done, because you have to be so fast in terms of getting this done right. So if you don't get there fast enough, it basically doesn't let you blend it. So you have to be really, really fast. Whew. I should have mentioned of Tzeentch. Debbie, I am painting Tzeentch War Dogs. I have been working on these cool silver panels. It's not silver. These cool Tzeentchian panels with the gold. They're coming out so well. How is Debbie doing? How is training? So you're training tonight, right? Yeah, I'm answering the call of Tzeentch. Okay, so you want to do, so we're currently doing the most difficult part of this model, where we're basically blending two colors together on the model. So this is a bit difficult, so we have to be very, very fast with it. You are not hurt for a change, huh? You see, you said a change, haha! You said change, Tzeentch has got you! Okay, so let's do this one. So we're speed running again. So again, we're just going to go to halfway here. Okay, push it to the end. Okay, that's there. And then we want the blue. Okay. So I have to do it out of shot to get it right, but we're getting there. We have another magic swirl going on. We put a little bit too much on this time, so it's getting a bit more bluey, which is good. So you're gonna have some variance, like between darker and lighter look, which is good. We want to put a bit more blue onto this one though. There we go. So we're probably going to want to darken this plate up, which we'll do in a bit. And soon also transfer to the slight pain from yesterday, leg day. Leg day. Leg day's never fun. Okay. Same again on this side. Okay, and then we want to do this on the other side. Okay, and then we pull that up. Then we dot it like this. And blend it all together. And then we take our wet brush. Cosmic, hey, how's it going? Welcome in! You've got us working on some Tzeentchian Chaos Knights, making some nice purple and blue blended shoulder pads right now. Trying to get an oil slick magic effect, which has been fun. Yeah, how's it going, Cosmic? You're doing well. Need to put some more on the other side because I didn't do it quite dark enough. So let's get a little bit more of that on my brush. Okay, we're just gonna do a little blending here. There we go, that's better. There we go, we now have our two Tzeentchian shoulder plates. Whew. They are so tricky to do, but they look so cool. And then we'll just go and tidy up all the edges in a bit. Whew. You're doing well, that's what we like to hear. But yeah, so we did the Tzeentchian effects on other parts as well, so we did the Tzeentchian magic down here as well, and we also have it, well, we're going to have it on other parts, we also have it on the back of this as well, where we're doing this, like, this blend. And what we're basically doing, we're using two contrast colors to get this cool oil blend, but it's so tricky to paint. But it's going to look so good when we get it, like, if you imagine with the other colors on this, and you're going to have these shoulder plates on here like that, that's going to look so sharp. Wait. Neaten that little tiny bit. Because the good thing with this is, well, it doesn't matter if there's imperfections, because it's like the imperfections make the effect. But yeah, so this is the color we're working on. I love the look. It's something that I've been wanting to work on it for a long while. I've always wanted to do this kind of color shift effect, and this was just like the perfect model to work on for it. Because it's such a big model, you can kind of get away with all these little weirdness things with it. But yeah, so we're going to be doing all of these plates in the same effect. There actually isn't a huge amount of these plates left, actually. We've done most of them. Might still that technique for a Chaos Sorcerer? Yeah! The easiest way of doing it, there's a few different ways of doing it, but the easiest way is to get, let me show you. We use some contrast medium, and you paint a line across your model, and then you put one color paint on one side. In this case, I'm using Shyish Purple. And you put one contrast paint on the other side. In this case, we're using... Oh, go on, lid. We're using Pterodon Turquoise. And you paint down to the line with one, and then up to the line with the other. And then you use the side of your brush and go that way along it. And it blends the two colors together, and you can then dot over the top of it and get the cool effect. And that's how we get the cool color shift effect. And the good thing with this is because of the over metallic paint, depending on the angle that you look at it from, the color changes. So it's a really cool little effect. Droid, it's going well. We're getting there. We've done the two shoulder plates pretty much. We just need to do tidying in the washes. And we've also done all of the dry brushing over our main model. So this is all ready to then do all the detailing on. And we've done the detailing on our arms. So these are getting there now. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're playing Space Marine 2. Let's go. I love Space Marine. Let's just tidy up some of that gold that we had. Where it had just gone over the little tiny bits of the edges. Let's just go and tidy those up. A little bit there. Is there anywhere else where it's gone over it? The good thing with this is because it's meant to be warp magic, it doesn't matter if it goes over very slightly. Between the velvet lies. Yes, I know. I saw there's going to be a 40k Total War game. I am really looking forward to it. Also, sorry, I didn't see a message. I learned that changing ways is broken if you're creating with it. The Law of Fire is some of the strongest magic. That if you load your roster with flamers, it's not very. And with flamers, it's not very good. Ooh. Okay. I might have to paint some flamers actually, Debbie. Because it turns out the Chaos Knights can take demons as allies. So I might be like finalizing the end of my roster off with a few pink horrors and some flamers. Just to basically have a little bit of infantry on the ground. But I don't know. I don't know if to take like a few units of pink horrors and some flamers, or just take another Titan. Let's go for a big pile of Titans. I feel like doing just a full-on Because most people who play Titans, they take allies. So I'm like, do I want to do allies or do I want to just do like 9 Stompy Boys? You know? Zinch is your favorite god? Yeah, Zinch is great. I'm a Nurgle fan, to be honest. I love Nurgle's concept. Okay, that's that done. Okay, so that is those two are done. We just need to wait for the gold to dry, and then we'll do the wash on the gold, and then we're basically finishing those off. I like flamers, but it's kind of disappointing to see that fake. I'm taking many of them is a big backfire time. Yeah, flamers are like good anti-infantry, but they're not great. Okay, so let's do the gold on here. Holy diver, holy diver. Come on. So me just a little tiny bit. I'm gonna have to clean this pot off. I've got the gold all over myself. What if Corn's big stick was magical? I mean, Hey, Elysiums! Thank you. How you doing? Yeah, it's looking good. Let me show you the shoulder plates. The shoulder plates are looking great. Um, these shoulder plates, I've done this cool, like metallic purple to blue effect on them, and they've come out so cool. What paint schemes for the night? So I'm doing a custom paint scheme. I'm using Zinch, but I'm doing this oil slick effect on all of the panels. So it's something a bit new. But I'm using my own custom effect on them. Oops, come on. But yeah, I was originally going to do just a flat out Nurgle theme, but I decided to just go for this like really cool oil effect. And thanks, Ali. I'm really pleased with it. It looks so good. The idea is to get this kind of oil slick look across the whole model. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a burnout on the end of the weapons, so the weapons look like they have been like fired recently as well. Um, thank you. I'm so pleased with the scheme. It was something I just had the idea for, and I was like, you know what would be cool? It would be knights where the plate panels are made up of Zinchian magic. That was the concept. So like, I imagine like, where is it rather being like a, you know when you see like a lot of them talking about like building like ceramite plates. I thought it'd be really cool if Chaos didn't have access to enough ceramite, and Zinch was like, they're using Zinchian magic to create the plates, and that was kind of like my head canon when I was coming up with the color scheme. It's like, what would happen if they were using like actual warp fire magic to create plates? What would a plate made out of warp fire look like? And no, it's like go and chill. I think it also film is essential, of course. Yeah, it's gonna look so cool. I have a soft spot for a stray dark blue into purple. Yeah, it's such a great look. Um, are you going to incorporate Kaysen's autography? I'm not sure. I was actually thinking because one of the parts of this project is like not only am I building these units for myself, but sometimes chat's going to purchase some, which will basically go towards like a leaderboard. But also like I like the idea of doing some of these for friends. So one thing I'm doing is I'm actually going to use VTuber logos on the shoulder plates. I think is the plan. Like I'm gonna make like little custom logo transfer sheets. Not so much like name logos, but like icons. So I'm thinking about doing like for this one, since it's the first one, doing like one of my eyes as the iconography on the shoulder. I thought that'd be really cool. Okay, let's go in there. Okay, that's looking good. Gotta wait for this to dry before I do the next layer. And the fact that the destroyer and the imperial only is shape, yeah. It'd be cool if we have an underdog faction. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I like the idea of doing this like really So the idea of the like let's say competition, the idea of like the throne section of this is that if people buy a unit, we track the kills that unit gets when we do competitive play. So chat has a leaderboard of how they are doing against other chatters in terms of the model that they helped fund. That's the idea basically. But making them all Underrealm themed and like having the ones that aren't purchased by chat be members of Underrealm, that's kind of the brainwave that I had when I was working on these. Okay. I'm coming undone. Okay, we've got to wait for this to dry before we do anything else with it, but that is looking so. I mean, let's put something behind it so you guys can see it a bit better. Let's just lift it up behind that so you can see how that looks. Look how cool that's looking. I think it has highlighted. I think I need to do the rivets that I did bronze originally in gold. I think it has highlighted that I need to do that. So let's go and do that now. Or at least just the central parts actually. Just the central parts works. So let's put a bit more gold on the model just so we've got a little bit more unification. Doom, doo 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 bright. Okay. Now. Wait, I'm coming undone. That's cool. Then just these higher ones up here. Again, we're just doing the central parts. Just to add a little bit more of the gold theming throughout the mini. There we go. Yeah, this was one. Yeah, that brings it together a bit more. I'm trying to hold it together. Yeah, that's more like it. Do you have a plan for the base? I don't as of yet. I'm debating with the base going for a like maybe doing like a ruins. But I was going to get some like what's it called? What's it called? Not styrofoam. Corkboard sheet and making like a standing base, so it's a bit more of like two raised areas, maybe do like a little river or a waterfall between it. So I've got some UV resin. Yeah, the finished thing's gonna look so badass. It's gonna take me a long while. I've got to think it's like at least 3 or 4 streams worth of painting, but it's gonna be so good. Yeah, this one's gonna have a load of gold in it, so I haven't got to really worry too much about that section there. But we do want to do this bit here, the rivet, and we also want to do these two rivets over here. Oh, well, you're such a fucking hypocrite. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's all coming together, though. It's something that's, like I said, it's my own colour scheme, so it's going to take a little bit of perfecting as we go along the way. But I love that blend, and I'm just so happy that the blend has worked on the metal. I mean, the whole of that section is going to be metal anyway, so it's not going to be gold anyway. So that doesn't need to be perfect. But we'll just do these two sections like that. Whoa, well, you're such a fucking hypocrite. And then up here, There we go. Okay. It's starting to come together. I haven't even done a load of the detailing yet. I've only done the basics. Um, where is my Rakeland Flesh Shade? Where are you? I've just realised, because I changed my headset over, I can move away from my desk, and I don't have to worry about being away from my microphone. I can talk while I go to my paint stack. I don't have to put everything by me. Ah! That's going to make life easier. So we're using Rakeland Flesh Shade here. So if you don't know, this is a really cool way of painting gold. If you do a gold colour, rather than shading it with the kind of shades that you'd normally use for like Agrax Earthshade or Null, you can shade the gold with the flesh tones, um, and it looks more like gold. So let's do this one. This is all dry now. It should add like a slightly reddish outline, which is exactly what we want. To give this that really cool effect. It should make everything stand out. Got regular flesh today for the exact purpose. Yeah, it's so good for gold. Oh, I may have made a mistake. There may have been a bit of gold still wet. That ain't good. It's fine. We can just tidy up later. Into the night, too many people, it's the land of confusion. There we go. Preparing for the new custodians, yeah. And no, we're still thank you for the alert, Cosmic, I really appreciate it. All the guns we're given. There we go. Yeah. So I take it you're a Custodes player then? I must admit for myself, I never got into Custodes. Tiny, my wife plays Custodes. But I am very much not an Imperium person. I am very, very much Chaos or Xenos. Um, every faction apart from Space Marines, I have at least a kill team of. I do have some Blood Angels, but they are still sitting in their box unpainted, or unbuilt even. Because I just don't vibe with the Imperium as much. Um, I am a filthy heretic and proud. You do like your stompies. There we go. Some nice gold plates. Hey, Valis, how's it going? So yeah, now these plates are looking sufficiently zinched. I need to do the spike that coming out of them in a second, but they're looking sufficiently zinchian. Yeah, how's it going, Valis? You doing well? No Custodes player, but I'll be getting some of that new Custodes purely because of the looks. They do look pretty badass, I will give it that much. Okay. Oh, actually, can we do the... No, I'm going to leave it to dry just a little bit longer, because the drying on this gold seems to be quite long. So we'll let the gold dry for a bit longer before we do anything else. Okay, so... Where do we begin? Do we want to do all the Zinchian stuff first? I think that'd be a good start. Because if there's ever anywhere that we're going to fuck up, it's going to be on that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, feel free to give me a shout, Valis. Okay. Too many people, it's a lot of confusion. Okay, let's do some more Zinchian planes. There's a lot of confusion. Okay, so if you haven't seen what I'm doing with these plates, we're going to do a small plate on the feet first, so you can see how this is all done. So what we do is we get a load of purple in here, like this. And we make sure we've got a fair bit on. We clean our brush off, and then we get the blue. We put that at the top of the plate, like this. Making sure we get a fair bit on there. And then we go between them and just start dotting our brush up and down. And there we go, we have a Zinchian plate. Starby, how's it going? Are you doing well? Okay. A bit more purple. And there we go, we have our Zinchian armor plate. Sorry, we're watching British. No worries, no worries. But how is Starby doing? Are you doing well? Time, and I want out. But yeah, fellas, feel free to drop me a DM. The reckoning, the sickening. Cool, so let's do another one of these plates. Let's do the other knee plate. We need to make sure we've got plenty of that on. And then we get some of the blue. Pop that in there like that. Dry our brush off, and we dot and dot and dot. Psychosocial. Psychosocial. Psycho. There we go, another Zinchian plate done. So now we've got got into the swing of it. It's pretty easy to do. Yeah, Zinchian oil slick magic. Makes me want to watch the video Psychosocial. It's a great video though. Are you using contrast paint? Yeah. So what I do is I use a layer of contrast medium. Normally, I'm not using it on the smaller plates, but on the bigger plates, I use like a line. So I paint a line of contrast medium, and then what I do is I use contrast Shyish purple and contrast as not Zangor blue, Pterodon turquoise, and then I basically drag them into the contrast medium in the middle, and then I basically blend them together, and that gives you. Let me grab a plate that does it really well. It gives you this kind of oil slick effect, which is really cool. Send it over for after stream when you're free. Painting my warm-up figures was always the hard part for me. I've got big hands at the time, didn't know my eyesight was shit. One of the tricks with like painting stuff like this, you can if you try if you're like having trouble with dexterity, slapshot method and contrast paints. You can paint stuff with very little dexterity. I did it because I have a bit of shaking going on when I paint. So when I'm shaking, I switch to contrast paints. But yeah, so let's do one of these plates. One of these other plates. Do 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 do. Up the down. Which way do I want to do this? I want to start from down there. Okay. Problem is, this is quite a long plate. These are the tricky ones. The rain will kill us all. Okay. So the problem with this bit is you have to move so fast on it. But once you get it, it pays off with this oil effect. Like this. There we are. I love Rush Kaja. Ooh yeah. There we go. Yes, there should be another bottle in the cupboard at the back. What's Xenos do to collect? Oh boy. I have Tyranids, I have G-Stiller Cults, I have Necrons, I have a Kroot army, I also have Orcs. So I think I have all of them apart from, like, Pure Tau. Elegia. Give it a bit more turquoise at the top. A bit dark at the top. There we go. Anargia. Of course, it's going to be gold around those as well. I'm still full up, Tiny. Thank you, though. But yeah, I'll check it out after stream, Valis, and I'll let you know what I think. Okay, let me work out an angle to come at this from. Okay. Around. Come on, turquoise. Not that much. Okay. Just to be a bit quiet. This bit takes a lot of concentration to do. Aha. Falling, I can't seem to make them stay. There we are. Run away. You ever see the Bob Ross army? That sounds familiar, but I can't remember. It sounds familiar. Okay. I'm hoping there was wood elves and they had a lot of happy little trees. Okay, there we go. These plates are looking so cool. I'm really pleased. I was trying to think of how I wanted to approach these models, and like the idea for doing the oil slick came to my mind. I was like, is that going to be too complicated? I'm so glad that I decided to go ahead with it. It looks so damn cool. Okay, which other plates do I need to do? I'm tempted to do this plate in the middle. Rather than doing the whole carapace, I might do this plate at the front and then the plate in the middle, and have some silver breakup on it. That could be quite cool. Don't care about anyone or anything. I don't care about anyone else but me. I don't care about anyone. Okay, let's try and do some more plates. Here's a Kennesaw move, blues and greens, let's call it mountains. Bob Boys drew as their flag. Nice! Go to that. I always love seeing those kind of inspirations. Or anything. I don't care about anyone else but me. Oh, I don't care about anyone or anything but me. Care about anyone else but me. I don't care about anyone or anything. I don't care about anyone else but me. I don't care about anyone or anything but me. I don't care about anyone or anything. Okay. So you can see a good effect, the beetle carapace oil effect on that plate as dried, and that looks so good. Okay. Let's get some more purple, pure purple. Okay. Okay. There we are. They're getting there. They're looking so cool. I'm really pleased how they're coming out. They're looking so good. Okay. So these are both done, right? Yep. So these are looking great. So we just want to do some edge highlighting on these. So we're going to try. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Hey, Yarn, hey, welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're doing good. Okay, oh, sorry to hear you're still feeling rough. You're feeling off the other day when you were in, right? Sorry to hear you're still feeling a bit off. Is it any better? You feeling any better than you were, or are you still just feeling the same? Okay, that's looking good. Fire fry. Okay, so those two are done. Actually, since I'm doing the joints off the model, I can probably put the shoulder blades on. I think I should do all this section first. Yeah, sorry to hear you're still feeling rough, though. Firefly. Yeah, I'm gonna get all the gold on this, and I'm gonna go over it with the Reichland, and this looks so good. Okay. Need a bit more. Come on. There we go. That's why it's not working, because they've got the paint mixer things in there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sorry to hear you're still feeling rough, though. Okay, let's throw it down here. Go over here as well. This is going to be all the gold apart from the gold trim. Who's that resist the urge to stand here in the light? So, has anyone got any plans for over the course of the weekend? I am probably going to be doing a few bits and bobs. I don't know if me and Tanya have got anything specific on, so I know we're going to be going out and doing a few bits and bobs tomorrow. But has anyone got anything special over the course of the weekend? So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do some Silent Hill. Oh yeah, I forgot you saw Silent Hill on Sunday. Yeah, let's go. Got D&D session on Sunday. We've got something interesting planned for my characters. Ooh, fun. I will be finishing off prep for Dreadship tomorrow. That is my well, I'll say tomorrow, Saturday, which is my big thing this weekend. Getting all of that finished up because we are launching the new series of Dreadship on Tuesday. So I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, Tiny's running Silent Hill. So yeah, if you aren't following Tiny and you want to see her get absolutely terrified, she is going to be playing through Silent Hill, the original one for the PlayStation 1. What do you do for you? I do for me. Right, did it say for me to try and ease this survival game first? Yeah, you can go straight into Silent Hill, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We did say about doing an easier one first, but you'll be fine. I'll be in chat. You can shout towards me if you're struggling. I'll be getting the second one of these assembled while you're doing that tomorrow. On Sunday. Because I have 8 of these to paint. And they are big. So I want to get as many of them done as I can. Modus and Summer Warlock going to make it. Whichever they get agitated or angry, many parts of her form and dread manifests. Ooh, interesting. I to do better, I think. Better camera angles in the first, sorry. Yeah, it'll be, I like the camera angles in the first Resident Evil. They make you use your brain because you can't see what you're doing. Okay, there you go. There. We need to do all the stuff on the feet and stuff, but we'll do that later. So let's start getting some effects on the go. So one of the things I'm going to grab, let me go grab these from over here, because I'm going to do a cool little effect that, again, it's using, again, ironically, purples and orange, and purple and blue, but if you want to make engines look like they've been recently used, If you get Drakenhof Nightshade, which is meant to be a shader for dark blue, and just basically like gently wash like canisters like this with it, it'll make them look like they've been burnt. If you just put it over silver, it just looks like burn. And then what you do is once that's dry, you just get some of the purple and do the same with the purple towards the top. And if you look at this once it's on, it looks like metal after it's been fired. And you just put some purple, then you put some more purple towards the end, and then just dry brush the edge with a bit of black. Also gives a bit of variance to the metal, which is great. It gives a bit of variance to the metal while keeping in those blue themes. Okay, so do the same on these engines the other side. The one that you wanted. I'm the super beast. But yeah, it looks like the metalwork's been scorched, which is really good for these like engine areas. Like that. A little bit on the crown here at the top. We leave the purple of that though. We'll just give just a little bit of a blue tint. It gives it that burning look. Perfect for these little exhaust fume areas. There we go. Look at that. How good does that look for burning metal? Okay. So I think most of the areas that I need to get to in this back section, I've already done. But I think I'm going to do a second normal wash of the side. Just to give it a little bit more depth. In this area, I'm just going to put some more in. Just to give this a bit more depth on the sides. It's quite deep areas here, so... Yeah, that looks better already. Yeah, that just gives it a little bit more depth, which is what we were missing. Oh, is that my camera dying? No. Ah, my camera is... Yeah, there we go. I think my phone just ran out of battery. Bugger, give me a second. Ah, the cable came out. Fuck. Okay, we're just going to shut the camera off just for a few minutes while we just get a little bit more life into it. Just give it a few seconds. We'll just go back to just chatting just for a minute. We'll just go back to just chatting just for a little while we fix all of this up. Because this is going to be a little while of fixing. It's going to take a few minutes just to get cooled down and get a bit more charge back in it. And then we'll continue on with some more painting. But yeah, how is everybody doing though? You all doing good? We may need to change camera actually. This is not good. Turns out the plug that I plugged into it to charge it up hadn't been charging it. That ain't good. How am I going to sort this? It may be an early end to the stream, everybody. We may need to finish up, actually. The camera looks like it needs to be completely and utterly restarted. Ah. So I need to go and put the camera on charge in the other room because the camera has literally completely shut down and won't restart, which is a good sign. So I think we'll finish up a bit early on this week and we'll carry on with this next week. I'll take a couple of photos of where we are so people can see what we've done, and we'll carry on with this model next week. To be fair, it feels like a good place to finish. There's a couple of friends having events on tonight, so we'll go and give some people some support if they're still going. But we'll finish up there for today. I know it's only been a short one, but yeah, to be fair, I was testing something new, didn't know if it would work or not with the camera. Apparently it does, but at least I know I can use the headset now as well, which is better. But I just need to, I can't get my thingy charging, so I'm going to need to stop anyway and go and fix that. It was really nice to just hang out and do some painting. Genuinely, these streams, they may not do numbers like MOBA streams do. They may be very, very quiet in comparison, but they're just so much fun to do. Like, I just genuinely just enjoy doing them. So let's go see if there's anyone around that we can raid over to. Let me just go and take some of my stuff apart so I can get in. It's a shame that I had to finish a little bit abruptly, but to be fair, I could have done with finishing soon anyway because I'm very, very tired. But yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it was one of those ones of, like, I knew it was going to be quiet because there's a couple of people I know doing events on. And I just enjoy doing what I'm doing. Let's drop a raid out. Let's see who is around. Oh, my raid interfaces. Oh, that was a PC problem, not a phone problem. Oh, my OBS is completely frozen. Looks like we aren't raiding. Looks like we're just finishing up. I'm apologising for that. Everybody, I recommend. So my OBS is not letting me not letting me click the stop streaming button. The stop streaming button is grayed out as if I'm not streaming. So instead, let's send you all to. Okay, so go and check out. 1 second. I'm pretty sure they VT the end of the name. They do. So go and give Phantom some love because we're gonna have to finish up. So I can't stop streaming and I can't. I'm going to have to like reset my PC. So go and harass Phantom. Tell him that we sent the love over, but we couldn't send the raid. Go and give them a load of attention, and I'm going to end up here. I apologise that we're not raiding out, but I will catch you all soon. Have a great rest of your night. Go and give Phantom some attention. Tell them that my PC has died, I can't raid, but go and give them some love. And I will catch you all later. Bye everyone, have a great rest of the night. Bye!